Hiring? With Indeed, your search is over. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, according to Indeed data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/match. Just go to Indeed.com/match right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/match. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
This is Full Change with Tom Laidlaw.
Hey, Tom, the weather's changing. Playoffs are coming. Spring's around the corner. Youth hockey's wrapping up. What do you got planned for this spring? Anything cool?
I want to get my book done. We got our friend Deb Anderson, the Midwesters, almost got it done, so we'll get that done.
Nice, Chris. Did you write the chapter about the podcast yet and about me? Is that in there yet or not yet?
That's the next book.
Oh, the next book. Okay.
Yeah. There wasn't room for all that. And we also got that thing about the Roscoe Mountain Club up in Roscoe, New York.
Yes, I saw a video.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. 1,000 acres. New family just bought it, refurbished it. Hiking trails, small outdoor rink, lakes. That's nice. Like that log cabin kind of stuff too. So we're gonna have.
You were up there a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yep. So we'll have those seminars. We'll put on up there. Myself, Mark Puttenvink. We have a registered dietitian, Molly Morgan, and we'll get some other guests up there too. So
nice. So what is it? What is the event plan? Do you have anything in?
Yeah, we got to get out and start selling now. We got all our brochures and all this kind of stuff put together. At least online stuff.
Cool.
Well, yeah, and then so we'll get it sold. So really, the first few ones will be more corporations, and they can get 10 to 20 people up there. So the dates are flexible.
So you try and do like corporate retreats, that type of stuff?
Yeah, you know what, Tom? That is a brilliant way of saying that. Like you have this sometimes, this creativity.
Just sometimes?
Yeah, when you're awake. I mean, the other time, again, don't have it when you're sleeping.
Oh, there you go. Look, I like the way you think, Mr. Laidlaw. Nicely done there. Very nice. I know there's a big game coming up in Michigan.
Yes, April 27th, playing the Red Wings alumni plays the Rangers alumni. And this is not an alumni game based on the teams put together, like the Alumni Association. There's two individuals.
There's Joe Neville, right? They're doing the same.
Good job.
They're going to be there. Thank you very much. That's why I'm here, Tom. Anyway, so you're key in this. You're like a linchpin in getting this together.
Yes, they got a hold of me. They're trying to get a hold of somebody else. I won't say who it was, but they couldn't get a hold of him. So Frank Simonetti, who's with the Boston Bruins alumni, actually heads up to Boston. They had played
who was a guest on our show, episode 82.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes. So they said, well, call Tom Laidlaw. And so we called Tom Laidlaw.
And there you go.
It's done. Yeah.
And I think we're going to be out there with our Full Change show. It should be an event that we're attending, and it should be an excellent.
You're coming out to Michigan?
I believe we are. I think that's what we've spoken about before, and I think we're going to do that.
Oh, nice.
But I did want to talk about, before we get to the spring, the winter. We just had an incredible event at MetLife Stadium. 2 days of incredible events for hockey, and we had the outdoor games with the Devils and the Flyers and the Rangers and the Islanders. You did not attend, right?
No.
I did. It was my first outdoor game. I took my son, and it was incredible to see just the tailgating. It was like a football game. It was like an NFL game. There were people everywhere, and we had parked. We walked 10 feet. And Thomas saw one of his friends from hockey, and they were just playing street hockey, and that was everywhere. It was tossed. There was barbecue. People drinking beers. It was an awesome event.
From what I understand, so the game had to get delayed a little bit because of the glare on the ice for the
glare. That's right.
So it was due to start at 3:30. They bumped it back, and I guess the tailgating and drinking started at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Kept going. We probably got there around. He had a game, so we got there around noon, and it was in full effect. It was people were enjoying themselves, but people were pretty civil. It was great. I did. My buddy Matt McNulty, who works for the NHL, and he was sending me messages like, "Hey, 47 minute delay." I don't know how they call it those numbers, but because of the glare on the ice. But what an event! The rink looked great. The seats we had nosebleed seats, but it wasn't. It looks way worse in pictures and on TV. But then when you're there, like your vision's clear. The sight's fine. You can see everything. But when you see people posting pictures, like, oh my God, looks like you're on the moon watching that game. You know? But and what a game for the Rangers! What an incredible game.
Come back there. Yeah, okay. It's funny because remember we played the alumni game when the Rangers played the Flyers. I think it was like 8, 9, 10 years ago, something like that.
Yes, that's what. Yeah.
So we played the day before, and the building was packed, 45,000 people. Where they played the baseball.
Citizens Bank. Yeah, Citizens Bank. Yep.
Yeah, and so same thing. It was sunny that day, so they had to delay it. And we were like, thank God, because we went out the night before. Oh, because you haven't seen guys in years. You know, some guys should just get to know.
Yeah.
Leach and I were hanging out together. He's a funny man, and we got to the game first there. Man, we were a little parched.
Wow. Did you stay for the Ranger Flyer game the next day?
No, I got other. Yeah.
Wait, now I have to ask because our fans want to know. Did you watch the Ranger Islander outdoor game?
Yes, I did. Yep.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, well, because it was an outdoor game. Yeah. I think I fell asleep for half of it, for middle part of it. So I watched the start of it. You know, they had that in between the first and second period had that band there, like it was a
didn't see. Yeah, I heard. Well, they had the Jonas Brothers the first day, that's a big get, and they're New Jersey guys. They're from Wyckoff, New Jersey. But then the next day, the AJR, I had never heard of those. So,
Wyckoff,
New Jersey, Bergen County.
Oh, so Wyckoff. That's it.
No, we're not talking about the Philippines now. We're talking about New Jersey, Wyckoff, New Jersey, Bergen County, the home of the Jonas Brothers. But what a game! And everybody, the talk of the Rangers, the winning streak just ended, but the talk's been all Matt Rempe all the time.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And I know you like that type of player. He gets it 1 second into his first game. He gets into a fight with Matt Martin. He wins. Yeah. Then he takes on.
You know what? We got to give Matt Martin credit too, because Matt Martin doesn't have to be doing that. I guess apparently Matt Martin asked him to go.
Yep.
Because he said, "Okay, this is a young kid. People help me." So it's kind of like the tough guys help each other, right? Because they know these tough guys.
Yeah.
Got it right. I love the one in Philly because before the start of the game, they're talking to each other.
Deloria. He's a fighter too.
Yeah. And he smoked it pretty good. He didn't do well in the Columbus one, but
he lost. He did lose that fight, and he beat up the Devils when he ran Bastion. But he lost to he lost in Columbus. He kind of got handled.
But you know what? As much as I like that kind of stuff, the game is kind of past that by. Like, it really isn't a big part of the game anymore. So I don't know very good play. I like the fact that Coach what's his name for the Rangers, Laviolette, put him in front of the power play, and he scored his first goal off his skate. Yeah,
that's a pretty cool move. Yeah, it was cool. It's kind of like you back in your early days.
Yeah,
but having said that, the fighting's going to end and it'll tone down. And you need a good player now. With him and Edstrom, you have these two giants on the fourth line. Who just go hit defensemen. Just go out there and check and be even players. Don't be minus players, and you'll be fine. You'll be effective because they're huge.
Well, that team. So I love the Rangers team. The skill level on the team is fantastic. Just we're missing that gritty, and now. Just him being there, and everybody else around the league knows now what he did and what he's capable of. So I think he's a big part of the team now.
Throw the body around. You don't have to hit; just throw the body around. And same thing with Edstrom. He's 6'7", I think. So you have these two giant bookends on that fourth line.
What are you?
And Rangers,
you're 5'7".
I'm 5'10". 5'10". Here, and the height bully has returned. 5'10".
Just imagine you standing beside those guys.
Well, on skates, they'll be much taller, but and that's a weird thing to imagine, Tom. We should delve into psychologically a little bit.
And speaking of skates, Randy Valachek and I have a problem when you tie skates up.
Here we go.
Okay, so like you go to a hockey camp and you show the kids. One of the things you show them is how to tie up your skates properly. You don't wrap the laces around 20 times.
Okay, this is true.
They do have laces that fit properly in the skates. You don't have to.
So as an ice hockey player, I'm a good roller hockey player. I'm not a great ice skater, so I need the extra ankle support, so I do wrap my laces around. And Randy Valachek constantly breaks my balls about it. And then the two of you guys, and we'll throw that video up on our YouTube channel. But yeah, you guys are breaking my balls. I was going over to give you guys compliments, say hello, and you're like, look at this clown with his skates around. Let's find him. But I do wrap. I know whatever. I don't know where you guys stand on that, but I do wrap them around. I know that's not good.
But that doesn't help your ankle support.
It's psychological, man.
Okay, that works. Okay, everybody does their own thing.
Yeah.
Do you do that with your figure skates as well too, or?
I don't think there's anything wrong with figure skaters. That's a really tough skill to master. I don't do that, but no, I don't do that with my figure skates. Yeah. I see what you did there. It's not very. Listen, I played Prudential Center. My man Gigi did. He had a rental there. We had a pickup game. It was great. I did get one again on my buddy Matt McNulty and net. Sorry, Matt. But yeah, I did get a goal in the Prudential Center, so I'm got one more goal than you this year, Tom.
So, what was a wrist shot? What kind of goal was it? Deflection?
So it was 2-on-0 basically, turnover, and I fake passed the whole time. Matt goalie bought it, and I just roofed one.
So you didn't pass to your teammate on a 2-0?
I always pass, and Matt knew that. He knows I always pass, and then I apologize afterwards. And
to who? Your teammate or to Matt?
No, not the teammate. No, we got the goalie. Because that's your friends. And that was my only goal.
You've got once in a lifetime chance to skate at the Prudential Center, right? Is that where we were?
Yes, first time. Yep.
Okay, so once in a lifetime chance. You've got another teammate there too, who you could have at least shared the glory with. Like you could pass to him, and then he could pass back to you. You didn't even think of that.
I didn't know him, and he was taking longer shifts, and he wasn't really dishing the pucks. I'm like, I'll just shoot this one. Because you know who you go on a 2-on-0, 2-on-1 with. You know who you're with. You know. Right. And I did. But listen, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm on a bit of a roll. I played Ian Peters Hockey XP event, so I got 2 goals in Philly at the Wells Fargo, scored in UBS. So I got a little run going here.
You have more goals in NHL arenas than I do.
I'm thinking about getting drafted. I don't know. Maybe do they draft 50-year-olds anymore or no? Is that?
Yeah, there's a rule against wrapping those laces around your ankle.
Yeah, I guess I'm out. Damn it, I'm out. But yeah. But speaking of, I can't wait to see you play in Michigan. Because I know you didn't get cut, but you were kind of a healthy scratch for the last Ranger Islander alumni game, which is
yeah. Well, we shouldn't talk about that. That kind of hurts.
It does. That, but, yeah. Who did Jackie cut you? Like who?
We're getting down to the bottom of it. Nobody wants to step forward now and take blame for it. So I'm on the case.
So Jackie DiPiazza or Mike Fasul, I don't know who makes the ultimate call on these. Is there a captain that's like grading
all the way up to the top?
You think Mr. Dolan is like, well, we should probably sit Tom.
To make a decision like that, like to not have me in the lineup, that has to go to the top.
Look, did Leach play?
I don't believe he did.
Oh, okay. So, because you can't, I mean, it's a heavy weight on your shoulders when you have to scratch the third best left-handing shooting, number 2 wearing Ranger defenseman of all time on the club, and you scratch him. I don't know.
I like the way they describe that. My sons one time said when I was on Survivor, I don't know if you know that or not. They said it's the most watched show on Wednesday night at 8:00 on CBS.
Yes, it probably is. And of all the shows, that's one of them.
That's one of them.
So out of all the defensemen, you're one of them. But yeah, but now are you getting in shape? Because I did see you skate at Sportorama when you were out there with our Saints, and I didn't see a lot. I don't know.
Get in shape.
No, hockey shape, not life shape. You're in good life.
No, I do need to get on the ice more to play that one. Dino Cicerelli is going to play for Detroit, and they're going to go with so it's a full game, 3 20-minute stop time.
Wow, okay.
And they've got 4 lines and 4 sets of defense. Dino Cicerelli was complaining because he only wants to have 3 lines, 1 more ice time.
We had great numbers at the Prudential Center. We had 3 lines, 2 sets of D, and guys wound up taking like 5-minute shifts. Like, what are you doing, guys? Come on. Come up.
Like Wayne Gretzky.
Well, there's only one Wayne Gretzky. But so this event, I'd like to come out. When my son's team just played the Prudential Center actually Wednesday night, 2-2 tie, great game. Kids had a wonderful experience. They were great to them. But my daughter Molly sang the national anthem, and she killed it. So maybe we'll bring her out to Michigan, have her sing at this alumni game.
They do have some singers. Some guy used to be a player, and he's a singer.
Oh well, then she'll be bumped. But really, who was that? Matt? Oh, it's Matt Duchesne. Not Matt Duchesne. It's I know who it was because John Obradnik talked about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But we spoke to the folks at Prudential, so Molly may be singing there for a Devil game, which would be pretty cool.
Very cool. So she got up, she sang already there when you guys played the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And
how did it go? Was she fine?
No, she's great. She's a great singer. She's worked professionally. She's really good, and she's she's great.
Very cool. And how old is she again?
She's 15.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was super cool. And Tom's team, they tied. They blew a lead. I don't want to blame the coaching, but
well, if you blow a lead, that usually is coaching. I'd say,
yeah. I don't coach the defense, so I don't want to blame the.
Oh, so okay. So let me get this straight. So anytime a goal goes in your net, it's just the defense's fault, right?
Of course not.
Not a team game.
And that's funny because that's one of the toughest lessons for the kids to learn. We taught them breakout this year, which was hard, and we taught them to move the puck, obviously. But now the forwards aren't swinging down in front of the offensive, the wingers. The wingers need to swing down in front of the other team, and they're not doing that yet, so passes get picked off on the wall. And I don't know what age you learn that, Tom, but at 7 and 8, they haven't really learned that one yet.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Just skate.
I just think, like we were talking about before, I think it's 7 or 8 years old at that age, even up higher. We coach them too much. Yeah. Bobby Orr's book, I think I'm correct in this. I read Bobby Orr's book years ago. Bobby Orr, for people don't know, best defenseman probably ever played the game, or one of the best players ever played the game.
No doubt.
And he was really known for kind of revolutionizing the game too.
Yep.
Carried the puck much more. And he wrote in his book, I think, if he'd listened to his coaches all the time, he never would have become Bobby Orr.
That's great.
Coaches would always want you to bang it off the boards, and he wouldn't even just carry the puck. And at that age with kids too, you don't know. I think that's just a story for life too. Like, let these kids learn what they can and cannot do. If they make a mistake, well, so what? If you make a mistake, like if you turn the puck over as an 18-year-old, you turn the puck over inside your blue line, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, of course. And the lessons we gave them this year was skate, pass, and just get back and help on defense. That's it. And basically, before the game, the pregame speech is attack that net, protect this net. That's it. That's all it is. And
eat donuts after.
Well, yeah, we have munchkins, but wow, you approve of that? Wow, I'm surprised because
I really don't. But it's kind of tradition, isn't it, for hockey players? Like that?
I've only seen it on birthdays. So when it's someone's birthday, they bring donuts.
So I make a real good carrot cake. So when I was coaching, all the kids knew about the carrot cake. So on their birthdays, they would want me to make the carrot cake.
Look at that. Domesticated Tom.
Oh, I got the sourdough bread going now, everything. Homemade ketchup, homemade hummus.
You're on this huge sourdough kick.
Oh, yeah. Because you got to really master the art of the sourdough. Like the sourdough starter, you got to get it fermented properly. It's all about timing. It rises and then falls a little bit.
Coach Nate Brown of Minnesota. Here we go. Here's your cooking section.
Yeah, right. He loves my cooking.
Oh, he loves it. Yeah, I love when you talk about cooking.
So, and again, you have to you got to make it proof. You don't call it rising. It proofs. It's got to go.
Okay.
Right, it bubbles up. Sourdough pizza as well.
Everybody, thanks for listening. Okay, thank you.
Sourdough muffins.
I've had your hummus. It's pretty good. Your homemade hummus is pretty good. I have
very healthy too. Oh,
absolutely. Yes. Chickpeas, man.
Chickpeas. Make our own tahini. It's a big part of that's just sesame seeds and oil.
Yes. Yep.
The process. Put spinach in there, peppers, tomatoes. Oh,
so yeah, you're quite the chef. You're very good in the kitchen.
Right. Yeah. Actually, did I tell you? I don't know where this will go. A producer from Los Angeles contacted me. She works out in Canada a lot. She wants me to do a cooking show up in Canada.
Do it. Go for it.
Yeah, definitely. So she's going to put the whole thing together. I said, "Do you get
Let's Giddy up. So let's. So speaking of cooking, somebody who cooked in the NHL with a lot of offensive skill is our next guest from the Miller family, Kevin Miller.
This will be an interesting story. I've not done a whole lot of homework on him, but he's played for a number of teams, from what I understand. Right?
Have you done a lot of homework on any of the guests, though?
No. See, I think it's better this way, that I'm learning about the person as the fans are, the listeners are.
Tom's journey of discovery.
There you go. Right.
I'll do the research, and you can you just learn.
Well, I am the talent, so you're the producer.
True. That is true. And everyone who listens to the show knows that clearly.
And so you worked with Howard Stern, right? So you worked with Howard Stern as well. So was he humble like I am?
He was, no, he was very, very quiet. Less humble than very quiet. We didn't really have many interactions because he kind of kept to himself. But I did write a bunch for them, so he would approve everything I wrote. But it really weren't a lot of interaction there.
I thought he's more of a social guy.
Not at all. Oh my God, not at all. And everything was saved for the air. Like there was not much banter off air. Yeah,
okay. Well,
that was an
banter. Who came up with the word banter?
Some guy in Sweden.
Swedish.
I made that up. I have no idea where that came from.
What do you think Haagen-Dazs stands for?
I don't know. Cream and sugar.
Doesn't mean anything. They just made up the word.
There you go. Like Verizon. They said they want. Yeah, they want to take vision and horizon and combine it. Verizon. It's a nonsense word.
Yeah.
And there you go. And with that, let's jig this show, this Kevin Miller show coming up. Full Change Podcast, everybody.
Can't wait.
Tom, we got a great show today. We have one of the famous Miller family members. We have a former New York Ranger draft pick. We have a 1988 US Olympian. We have Kevin Miller on the show today.
That's right. So you beat out, we did a show with Tom Chorsky recently. He was the last guy cut from that 88 team, right?
He was. Yes, he was.
Wow. Did you think he was going to get cut? Did you think he'd be the guy?
He didn't know anything that was going on back then. We carried, I think we started carrying 30, and then every once in a while they'd drop one. And it was a surprise they carried guys so long. but they carried them right till the last 3 weeks or so. So they, guys missed their whole season and then get cut right before the Olympics. So yeah, it wasn't the best way.
Yeah. It's funny. I played with your brother, Kelly, with the Rangers when he started off, and before he got traded to Washington. And we were a bunch of barbarians back then. So he came in with Mike Ridley, and we went up to the city for a few beers after this place, Ornoretsky's, we always went to. When your brother and Kelly Miller, or actually Mike Ridley, ordered a glass of milk, and which was smart. They were probably smarter than we were. And but he got mad at him. We started yelling at him, like, "Over beer, you should over beer. You do it."
Yeah.
Oh, he was dedicated.
He lasted a long time, so maybe the milk worked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No kidding. Yeah. We should all be drinking milk.
Right.
Oh, God. So thank you very much for coming on the show. Nice to meet you. I don't think we met before, have we?
We played together. I got you for, I think, your last year.
Oh, really? I knew I'd played with you before. Okay. Yeah.
I think it was maybe just a little bit when I got called up in, what was it, 88, 89, somewhere in there. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, what a blockhead I am. I can't remember back those days. See, we're drinking milk. There's another reason I should be drinking milk. My memory would be better.
All right.
There you go. So you obviously grew up in Michigan and how many of your brothers made it? So you and Kelly?
So me, Kelly, Kip made it. Kelly played the most in the NHL. I think I played about the same pro games, but not as many in the NHL. And then Kip played, I don't know, around 450 games in the NHL or so. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I guess other than the Sutters, was there anybody else that's played as many games?
The Broughtons played a lot of games. I don't know. There's a lot of brother outfits out there. They were had it on ESPN the other night. They were trying to list all the Americans. They had brothers over, I think it was 1,000 points. But there was 5 of them. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Tom, these guys also had their cousins play too. So Ryan Miller and who obviously, Drew Miller also, with the Red Wings. So this family, it's a hockey family.
No kidding. I didn't know you guys related to the goalie there too, Miller. Yeah. Didn't you get married to an actress?
Yes. Yes. They're still living out in California.
Well, stayed married. Man, we've had, I don't want to jinx you. I don't know what your story is, but we've had so many guys in the show. I bet you the divorce rate is up 95%. Hockey players.
No, we're good. We're solid.
Nice
family. 4 daughters.
Nice, really?
Yeah, all still in school. One of them was one of the top figure skaters in the country for a long time. Almost made the Olympics. And then I had my second one played hockey, so I was able to get back into coaching and start a girls program here and grow that. She went off and played in college, and then the other 2 also figure skated and did some other sports, and they're all still school right now. They're all still in school, so ain't a lot of bills.
Oh. And then playing those sports too, all the traveling around and figure skating and all that too. Yeah. I coached a year of a girls' high school hockey team here locally to help out. Man, they were fantastic coaches. The girls were way better than the boys coach, right?
They're fun to coach. They listen. They want to be explained why you're telling them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But at least they listen.
There's some other issues to deal with. There's this one girl on the bench. She was a defenseman. I was coaching the defense, and she says, "Coach, my skates just don't fit right." I said, "Okay, well, we'll figure this out with time up definitely or whatever." I said, "Well, my helmet doesn't fit right." And I said, "Okay, we'll fix the helmet." And then she says, "I just don't feel right." And so I went down to the head coach, who was female, and I told her the story. She looked at me like I'm an idiot. She goes, "She's on her period." So it's more, I don't need to know anymore.
They're a different breed. You gotta, when you stick your head in the locker room, you gotta go, okay, what kind of mood we got today?
Oh, I know.
Where the boys are just ready to go.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. They're not listening. They're not listening. The boys don't listen to anything, right?
They don't listen. They're just ready to go. They're just go out there, go.
We were the same way too. We were kids growing up. I think back to all the coaches. Oh God, painful. So obviously grew up big hockey family. You're a pretty good player right away when you started skating.
It took a while. I mean, I was good, but I was small. I was really small. So I think that's probably, I played AAA in Pee Wee hockey, but didn't make Bantam AAA, and I think size was probably the biggest, issue with it. Didn't make AAA in midget either. Again, size problem. Everybody thought I wouldn't make it into juniors. Thought I'd probably get killed, which I did at times, but that's part of the game. And even going into college, I think the biggest concern was size, and you're 5'8", 5'9", 150 pounds going into college. It's it's tough. So,
Yeah.
But I just kept getting better and better and better, and kept working. I mean, I outwork everybody, and just wasn't afraid of anything, and just kept getting better.
Yeah. Was there any thought of going to another school?
I had some offers and some trips before Michigan State ever came to the table. I had to play a couple extra years in junior hockey, and Michigan State was not on the table after my second year of junior hockey. So yeah, I was close to committing to other places, but once State did get to the table and made the offer, it was where my goal was, where my dream was, and so it was an easy decision from there.
That's pretty interesting, because we had Ed Belfour on, same thing. He wanted to go to North Dakota, and he stayed and played three more years of junior so he could get to North Dakota, because that's the only place he wanted to play. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that determination.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of the Marty St. thing going on, right? Where you got something to prove to everybody. Everybody thinks you're too small.
Yeah, it's tough, especially back when we were playing. There were so many big guys. They didn't think the little guys could make it. I mean, most scouts would come to the college rink and look at anybody over 6 foot, cross off anybody under 6 foot. So, you really had to have a balance. You had to be fast, you had to be able to get out of the way of people, and not be afraid of people. So I was able to put enough points up to get the opportunity, and from there just was able to prove myself.
Well, it seems like the whole family's got that work ethic too, right? Where it's like that's the one thing you can count on. Work.
Yeah, it comes from the dad. The dad is definitely gonna make sure we're working and driving. He played. He's Canadian, Regina, Saskatchewan. His brother came down in the 50s to play at Michigan State, brought him back in the 60s. They both stayed in right here in Lansing at Michigan State, and started families. So we grew up watching Michigan State hockey, and my dad was coaching at the time. I think all three of us, and I don't know how he was doing it, because he was working full time and driving us to the rink and coaching, and but we were given the tools. We were definitely not let off the hook. If we didn't want to work, we were going to get left on the side of the road. So, it was work, and be prepared to work, and that's what we did, and it paid off.
So did you stay the full 4 years at Michigan State?
So my fourth year was the Olympic year in '88. So yeah, that was the year that we just traveled around. I think they did it one more year in '92, and they didn't do that routine anymore. But basically, we traveled all over playing Europe. We played pro, some of the exhibition pro games. We played Team Canada about 12 times. Played all the colleges, traveled all over the U.S., Canada, Europe, and so it was 7 months of traveling and training, and and then you finally get to Calgary. And after Calgary, I had to make a decision whether to go to New York or come back. New York wasn't really offering any contracts, so now the next decision was come back to Michigan State and play 9, 10, 11 games, and then have to sign a contract, or take a year off, or take the end of that year off and play all of next year. At the time I came back and played the 9 games. They had a shot at winning the national championship, I thought. So I wanted to be a part of it. Looking back, was it the right decision? I don't know, probably not. I still had to go to New York and without a contract and make the team in camp, and luckily was able to do that. So.
Very cool. Very cool. What round of the draft were you?
The last, when was it? What was it back then? 10 rounds back then or something like that?
Yeah.
200 some pick, yeah.
So what were you thinking to yourself? Like, had you determined that you're going to play in the National Hockey League? That's it? You're going to get it done one way or the other?
Yeah, I mean, my goals and my dreams were set pretty high. I wanted to play at state. I wanted to play in the Olympics. I wanted, play in the NHL. And you just have to use those goals to drive your training and your determination every day. You can't take time off. And even, back in the day, we didn't play hockey all summer, but we still trained in the off season. So you just had to do it. And, get lucky along the way, and, grew and, got good coaching, got good training. And, probably the Olympic year was a big difference working with Jack Blatherwick on skating.
Oh, yeah, Jack. He was great. Yeah.
I think that took my skating to the level I needed to be able to play in the NHL. And,
Jack's famous. So Jack came on with Herb Brooks when he coached here with the Rangers too. And we loved Jack because like most coaches back then, they'd do those bag skates, right? They're mad at you. Jack was like, there's a schedule for the whole season. It's not based on anybody being mad. There's a reason why you're going to ski on certain days. And we really didn't seem like we didn't work as hard, but we got more out of it, I think, when Jack was going. So he was good. We loved him.
Yeah, way more out of it. Actually, I'm doing power skating now, and he was the first guy I called. I thought I remembered everything. Yeah, he did the whole Olympic year with us, but I called and got all his drills and all his stuff, and took that and what I knew, and my sister was a figure skating coach at a high level, and so I used a lot of her stuff and with edges and stuff, and put it all together for one package, and it does work. It's hard, but it works. Yeah.
So that Olympic year where you're traveling around, did you like that process? Did you think that was a good idea to get ready for the Olympics?
There's probably a little too much traveling. I mean, we were definitely on the go all the time. It was a good process. Again, I'm not sure I would have carried all those guys, because a lot of those guys, missed a big part of their season. We weren't in set places, so off-ice training was difficult. Today would probably be more like, they do in the U.S. development program, where they've got a set rink, they've got weight rooms, training rooms, they got all the trainers to help. They play a high level games, and then add in some training, something like that. It was a long year. We had a great team. I mean, you look at all the guys that came off that team and played at the NHL level. It was a lot. So we should have done a lot better. So there was definitely something missing that didn't give us the results we should have had.
Right. Where'd you finish in the Olympics?
7th.
Oh, okay.
Tom, Mike Richter's the goalie on that team, and Leach is a defenseman.
Yeah, we had Richter, Terreri. Brian Leach was, of course, one of our top studs. But we had probably 9 or 10 guys. There's guys that got cut that played in the NHL. Ranheim played a long time in the NHL. Kevin Stevens played a long time.
Wow, they got cut. Huh?
Well, and I got to look back now. No, Kevin actually made it. Chorsky did not make it. Brad Jones was another one. You might have played with him in LA.
Yeah.
Laviolette was on that team too as a defenseman.
Laviolette was on that team.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of good talent.
Wow. So who ended up winning the Olympics that year?
I think it was Russia. Oh, yeah. They were still.
Red Army.
Tom was almost an Olympian, Kevin, but he got cut because he's a knucklehead.
I've told this story many times, so I'll be brief. So so I started off with Canadian Olympic teams, and just like you, the winter before, which I guess was winter of my junior year of college in Northern Michigan. We had one group travel around Europe, but I went around Europe, Czechoslovakia, and all this, and another group stayed in the U.S. and Canada, traveled around. And so then it was like total of 40 guys. I think they cut it down to like 30 guys. We had training camp in Calgary. We were staying in construction trailers because they didn't have enough money. And myself, I'll tell you this long time, with Paul McLean and Jim Nill, the three of us went out and decided we're going to have a few cocktails on the first night of training camp. And we got back to the construction trailer. We decided we'd take the furniture out of the TV room and put it on top of the trainer's car outside. And thinking this, no idea. I think thought it was really going to be funny, like a good team bonding.
Yeah.
So those two went to bed like an idiot. I went and woke up the trainer and told him we did it because I thought, this is funny. This is hilarious. And so next day, remember they had Father Bauer running Hockey Canada. He was a priest, a real gentleman and well-respected guy. He comes we're about to go over to the rink for practice, and he comes walking over to me. And seriously, at this point, I'm thinking he's going to hug me and tell me how funny this was last night. And he reaches into his pocket, pulled out a plane ticket, and sent me home. Got a full team right there. And I think I probably would have made the team too, but and that's embarrassing because it's a dream come true, right? You're playing for your country, and it's just I think it's going to help you get to the National Hockey League. I've been drafted by the Rangers already.
You should have drank milk that night, like Kevin Miller.
You would have had a little milk. Just went behind.
I would have figured out something stupid to do back then.
Whoa, sweet man cave.
Thanks. Serious upgrade.
How'd you pay for all this?
I got a home equity line of credit from Figure. I was approved in 5 minutes and had funding in 5 days.
Wow, that fast and easy?
Yep, the application is 100% online, plus no out-of-pocket costs. Just fast access to the cash you need.
How do I get started?
Go to figure.com and get that serious upgrade. Figure Lending LLC, DBA Figure, Equal Opportunity Lender, NMLS 1717824. Terms and conditions apply. Visit figure.com for more information. For licensing information, go to www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
All right, so the Olympic. Who's your coach in college? Was Ron Mason there?
Ron Mason. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very good. How'd you like him?
Who'd you have, Conley?
I had Conley, yes. And then he came to coach Michigan State, right?
Yeah. He was great. I would say majority of the players really liked him, enjoyed their time with him. Of course, some of the ones that don't play all the time don't. He was great to me. I thought the biggest thing was, coming in, I was very offensive guy, but I think he really taught me how to play defense, which was probably another one of the big keys to making it into the NHL was the fact that, I could kill penalties and be responsible defensively. And then afterwards, he was a guy that, always welcomed you back, really became a friend. And he was great.
That whole area there in Michigan, right? So you get Michigan State, Michigan, all the junior hockey, the college hockey around there. That's a hotbed for hockey players, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So who's the coach then of the Rangers when you came up?
Well, we had a bunch. Esposito wasn't he for a little while? And
had Roger Nielsen too, right?
Roger Nielsen, I believe, was the second one. Maybe.
Right, we had the French guy too.
He's coaching Ottawa right now. Jacques Martin, right?
No, it wasn't him. It was the other
Bergeron.
Yeah. Good memory, Tom. Good memory.
Little Tiger.
Yeah.
Guys didn't like him too much, did they?
He was different. They were all. It was. For me, I was just a rookie, so I was just trying to survive every day.
I know. It's a while. Like you look back at like New York in particular, and I love Phil Esposito. He was great to me when he was a player. He ended up trading me, but he had coaches were coming and going. The GMs were getting fired, and people always ask. I said, if we just could have kept our team together for a while, I think we had some really good teams there, right?
Kevin, we had John Ogrodnik on, and he was on that great line with Kelly Kissio and Brian Mullen. But when we spoke to him about that, he said, I really loved playing with Kevin Miller. He made a point to say that he loved when you were his center. Yeah. You want to talk about Johnny O a little bit?
Well, that was probably my break. The first 2 years, I played, 16 to 20 games up. And, felt like I played well, but it was always, heading back to the minors. That third year, I think I was going back to the minors again. Kelly Kissio broke his ankle, was going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. And they put me in with Johnny O and Mullen, and we went on a hot streak. it just everything clicked. Sometimes you just play with people that things click and you get big numbers, right? And we did. We went on about a 10 game, where we were scoring every night. The team was winning. The numbers we put up were big. And after that, I stayed up that whole year and, we ended up starting to gain some confidence and that's probably, my biggest break, playing with those two and getting that, unfortunate for Kelly, but it happens. And it happens.
Yeah. And so how many years did you stay in New York then?
I got traded that year, actually. Yeah, that was my third year, first full year. I got traded right at the deadline. The old, hey, go home, everybody's safe.
Oh, yeah, same here. Yeah. Phil was the GM.
It was...
wasn't
Was it Neil Smith? Was it Neil Smith at the time?
Neil
Smith.
Yeah, it was
Neil Smith. Oh.
And you know who he got traded for, Tom? He got traded for, Pear Juice, but also Joey Kosar.
Oh, that's right. Joey Kosar. Man.
Yeah, I still stay with Joey. I'll see him tomorrow night.
Good. You're playing in that alumni game in April, right? The Rangers.
Yeah. Are you coming in?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Joey's thinking about playing it. Kelly's going to play in it.
Okay.
Although Kelly hasn't skated in about 5 years. So
tell Joey to tie those gloves on, though, right?
Yeah. Blow your head up, Tom.
He's playing for New York, I think.
Oh, okay, good. Perfect. Let him play then. Yeah, excellent. Man, he was a scary dude. Hey, going in there and playing the Red Wings with Probert and him. Oh, jeez. Yeah. I heard he's a real good guy, though. I've never met him in person. Joey's a good guy, though, right?
Oh, yeah. No, he's a great guy.
Yeah. Isn't that funny how that works? So, like, you play against guys and they think, oh, guy, this must be a jerk. But almost everybody that you play against, once you meet him, is the same kind of guy. Yeah.
Most of those real tough guys were all great guys.
Is that true?
Just when they got on the ice, they knew exactly what they had to do.
Yeah.
And they did it very, very well.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? Like, you wish you had known what a good guy he was. Like, Clark Gillies was a guy for me where it was just like, he's such a good intimidator, just by the way he looked, the way he talked and everything. And then you meet him after the game, he's the sweetest guy. He's like a sweet man.
I actually got to meet Clark played golf with him once. I had to see him. He was just great.
And so you got treated to the Red Wings, correct?
Yeah.
Good. How'd you like that going back home?
I was sad I was leaving New York because I was having a lot of success that year. I really enjoyed the city. I loved the fans. The fans were amazing. But again, I was going to Detroit, which was my hometown. I grew up watching the Red Wings. I had a lot of idols from those old teams. So, it was sad, but it was great. And, I actually enjoyed it and was sad again to get traded from Detroit. But you know what? It seems like once you get traded, then it's easier to trade you, right? Because they didn't direct you, they didn't, build you, and so after that it started getting quicker.
I like to hear some of the stories how the GMs tell you. What did Neil Smith say to you when he traded you?
Not much. Most of them didn't say much. Hey, here's your plane ticket. That's kind of how what they.
Well, your brother tells a story when it was Phil Esposito who traded him, and you probably know the story. But Phil called up and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. He says, "I get good news and bad news for you."
Yeah.
He says, "Good news is we got Bobby Carpenter. Bad news is you're getting traded." Like, why would he want to tell him that we got Bobby Carpenter? I was like, that was one of the best ones I've heard.
Yeah. So Kevin, you're still skating?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, I still do a lot of alumni events and skate once a week with a group of guys here in Lansing.
That's not the Ogrodnik skate, is it? He's in one.
No, he's actually further down.
Okay.
And then there's one about 30 minutes from here that's got some NHL guys like Kosher.
Nice. Yeah. How do you feel the next day? Still feel good?
No, still. Or
yeah, of course.
I try to get out twice a week. So
do you really? Because I'm bad. I don't get out like once every like 3 or 4 months. So when you first step back on the ice again, it's like you're Bambi on ice.
Well, I don't want to stop skating either.
Yeah,
I'd much rather get a workout playing hockey.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't play in the men's league or any of that. It's just a group of guys, no ref, music playing.
Nice.
Okay. We all know each other. whites versus darks, and
Yeah,
giggle a lot.
just how it used to be, just fun.
That's what Johnny O plays now? Is Johnny?
I
I'm playing that one. Yeah, he's a little further away. He's about an hour away, so I don't need to drive that far for a skate.
Okay.
Because Tom doesn't skate much anymore. You did come out to my son's organization's practice last week, and kids were like, "Oh, you play in the NHL?"
I was funny because I was coaching the girls team. It was one girl on our team. It's awful. I can't remember her name. It's hilarious, great sense of humor. And we were short players, so I had to fill in practice and do some of the drills. And she yelled so everybody could hear, "Coach, if you could play in the NHL, I can play in the NHL."
That's good.
Yeah, and I still got Joe Graff still got the wooden stick too. And she was picking on me one day. She says, "Don't touch the stick; it's an antique."
I still get a few wooden ones, but I've switched because these new ones can shoot it.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself getting competitive, like when you're in those pickup games a little bit, or is that the fun?
Everybody gets competitive. That's part of the hockey player mentality.
Yeah. That's right. You start off being not competitive, though. You want to have some fun, joke around a little bit, but after a while,
Usually the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And the score's on the line.
Yeah.
So
I played some men's leagues when I first moved back here. So it's like 25 years ago. And same thing, you go out there, just have some fun. A guy goes around you, no big deal, goes around you again. Now you start getting mad. You start slash. So we got fights and everything. We said, that's it, we're stopping. You played in a men's league game, fighting.
Yeah. That's why I would do the men's league.
Yeah. You're smart.
I think when you beat up the optometrist, Tom, you're like, I better retire, right?
Oh, totally. That's about what it was, too. We got in a fight. This one guy, young guys, the 3 or 4 young guys on this other team. So guy comes towards me. I hit him with the left. Another guy comes toward me. I hit him with the right. Another guy comes over, hit him with the left. And they threw me out of the game, rightfully so. And we played the same team about 2 weeks later. And I went over to the kids. And I said, "Listen, I shouldn't be acting like that. That was embarrassing. I did that." And said, No, Mr. Laidlaw, it was great. We went home and told all our buddies that you beat us up. Okay, that's good. I'm retiring. That's the end of it. All right, so you get traded to Detroit. Is it just there 1 year?
2 years.
2 years. And then where'd you go after that?
Washington for a month.
I like the way you said that. I'm not laughing at the fact you traded, just the way you said that. So.
It was just long enough to buy a townhome with all the furniture.
Oh, God.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh. So obviously you thought you were there. You had a home there. And that was going to be it.
Kind of hoping.
Yeah.
It was kind of hoping.
Well, your brother was there at the time, too, so that must have been
there.
Yeah.
Got traded for Dino Ciccarelli. So
Dino.
The problem was the coach really liked Dino Ciccarelli.
So you went to Minnesota? Is that where you went?
No, I went to St. Louis.
Same. So was Dino? I didn't know Dino was in St. Louis.
No, that Dino was in Washington.
Oh, okay, I got you.
To Detroit.
Gotcha.
And then, I wasn't there very long. But Washington, I thought it was going to work. Just didn't. Problem with the coach. So usually right out.
Oh, who's the
same with St. It was Murray. Not Brian. Brian was in Detroit.
Oh, Terry.
Terry Murray.
Terry? Yeah.
So
Brian was in Detroit. This is awful. Yeah. It's awful because we've lost Brian Murray. So he had the lisp or the spitting problem. Right?
Yeah, and he used to love it, yelling at other guys on the ice.
Because I don't think any other NHL coach ever yelled at players. I think he was the only one. So it's kind of an unwritten rule. The coach doesn't.
Not very often.
Yeah. It was so terrible because he'd get mad and he'd be spitting all over the place. One time he was standing at the open door of the bench and he's standing there yelling at me and he starts spitting. So of course, what do we do as hockey players? We start imitating him, right? It's like, and now he's getting really mad because our team gets spit coming all over the place. So terrible.
Yeah.
So, and then how long did you stay in St. Louis?
Just long enough, couple of years. Then Keenan showed up.
Oh boy.
We actually the year before Keenan showed up, we had a lot of good. We had a good roster. And I think personally, if we lost to Toronto Game 7 in the playoffs, I think if we win, we actually could have won. We lost Game 6 and 7. If we would have won one of those games, I think we could have had a shot at a Stanley Cup because we ended up. LA was with Gretzky next, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then Montreal had kind of walked their way through as a 7 seed, And so I think at that time we would have probably been the most talented of the. I think we were maybe a 5 seed, 5 playing an 8 or a 7.
Was Pronger and those guys there? Pronger, McInnes?
No,
Pronger
was brought in by Keenan.
Oh.
McInnes was there. Yeah, McInnes.
Brett Hull was there though too.
Brett Hull, Shanahan, Joseph,
Craig Janney,
Janney, Emerson, Housley. I mean, it was a pretty good lineup.
Cujo in goal, right?
Yeah. So
that is a good team. I forgot about that team. Yeah.
Yeah, but Keenan came in. He just kind of started getting rid of all the pieces and bringing in all his people, and so I was not one of his people. I moved on.
So now where'd you go to after that?
San Jose. Went to San Jose, and they were very good. But had a good time there. I had a good career. I got traded at the deadline again from San Jose to Pittsburgh. Had another good run in the playoffs in Pittsburgh. But yeah.
So that when you were in San Jose, was Kelly Kishiel there?
No, he wasn't there.
We used to call him Muttley. He was always in a bad. It seemed like he was always in a bad mood.
Yeah, or
yeah.
He used to throw up before every game.
Oh, Kelly did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he used to get nervous before every game.
Wow. He's a good little player too. I liked him. He was a really good leader.
Yeah, to go to Pittsburgh and with Mario and Yager.
Yeah, that was the year again. Probably had a shot at winning the title. That was the year of the Rat in Florida, though. They had all the momentum going, and they had a hot goalie with Beef Brook, and we ended up Roddy Francis, who was, a key playing between Lemieux and whoever was on the other side. Ended up getting hurt, so he was out. So that's that was Game 7 again. We ended up losing at home to Florida. It would have been tough in the finals. Colorado was pretty loaded to it.
Yeah. So how long in Pittsburgh then?
Just then, my contract was up. Could have re-signed there. Decided to sign with Chicago. Spent 2 years in Chicago.
Who was coaching there?
Hertzberg.
Oh.
But then Kevin makes a stop on the island with everybody's buddy Milbury for a little bit.
Oh, God. Poor guy.
Had to go in and make a contract and tryouts again in camp. Got through camp, signed a contract. That was a terrible experience.
Did you do your own contract? Did you have an agent do it?
No, I had an agent do it.
Oh, who'd you have?
I had Steve Burlett.
Oh, okay. Good guy. I like him a lot. Yeah. Good agent.
He's great. Yeah, he was really good. Still doing it. He's still doing it.
I just talked to him the other day, actually. Yeah.
I saw him I went down to the USA. They had Sweden, I think, and he was there. It was great catching up with him. But he's still doing it. Yeah.
I think it's like 40-some years or something he's been doing this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So you got to play with Mike, or on the team with Mike Milbury. Any good stories about Mike?
Mike and the six coaches, 7 of them total on the ice. It was hard to find room out there to skate at times. No, Mike was, he wasn't one of my best friends for sure.
No, I don't know who likes him in the National Hockey League. When he was on TV for a while, doesn't the NHL know about this guy?
I know he did it for a long time.
Oh, I know.
I remember we had back-to-back games. The first game was up in Ottawa, and I had a really good game. I was playing mostly fourth line, but that game on the fourth line, I had a goal and assist. Was a star in Ottawa. Came back the next night in Long Island, hoping maybe I'd get off the fourth line. He came in before the game, said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?"
Here we go.
Yeah. He's like, "Man, you had a great game last night. And I tell you, I got to figure out how I can get you some more ice time." And then he just stopped. Well, I didn't know if I was supposed to say anything or just sit there. And then he goes, "No, I can't do that. Move on." Right?
Oh, what an idiot.
I was just,
Didn't you do things like at the end of the year, like most teams at the end of the year, if you want to take your equipment home, they give you a bag, a regular hockey bag. Then he put them in garbage bags or something. It's a National Hockey League team.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, that's man. Yeah, some of the stories. It's great to have people on talking about Miller. You can go for a whole show just talking about him. So how long did you stay there in the IO?
Half that year. They were going to send me down, and I just, it was somewhere out east. And it just didn't make any sense. So I just told them to release me, and I ended up playing for the Chicago Wolves, who, was one of the better teams and really good organization. I figure if I'm going to play half a year in the minors, I'm going to go where, they take care of the players, have a chance at winning a championship and everything else. So,
did you win there?
No, we lost in the finals that year. But it was fun. It was close to home, and it was good.
And then Kevin does 3 years in Switzerland.
Yeah, Switzerland. I mean, well, no, I went to, I signed the next year in Ottawa, because Ottawa's farm team was in Grand Rapids, and I was starting to get up at there in age. And Grand Rapids is only 50 minutes from my home, and I'm like, okay, I can, live at home, play in Grand Rapids, or if I get called up, I go to Ottawa, which, it's a great opportunity. Had a great camp, actually. I thought they might even keep me. They didn't. They kept an underage player that could have went back to juniors, which happens. But went down and had a great time in Grand Rapids. We had a good team, won a lot of games, put a lot of points up, got called up, played 9 games in Ottawa. Ended up scoring some goals. They kept me around for the playoffs. And then the next year they wanted to re-sign me. And at that point it was just, okay, do I want to do this again, or do I want to try something different? I had a friend that I met in Grand Rapids that had connection in Switzerland. Said, hey, what do you think about that? Did some research. I'm like, Switzerland's a pretty nice country. Money was good. The town I played in was in Davos, kind of like playing in Aspen or Vail. Great town. And I said, well, let's go try it for a year. And so we went over, and it was great. It was a 40-game season instead of 80. Didn't have to worry about being in the minors or traveling or anything. We were home every night. And it was really good hockey, a lot of fun. The fans are amazing. The country is beautiful. The ski resort was amazing. Had a great year. They signed me 2 more years. We ended up winning a championship there the second year.
Hold on. You won a championship finally.
Yeah, we finally won a championship.
Which I didn't do.
Yeah. One, big over there is the Spangler Cup.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Gold. Won that 1 year. Had 3 great years there. And then actually, I thought they'd re-sign me. They did not. Came back and signed with Grand Rapids. Once again, it's like I was working at that time. I actually got my broker license when I was with the Blackhawks. That was my troubles with the Blackhawks. I had injuries with my groins and hip flexors, and their trainers really couldn't figure out why it kept happening. But being a speed guy, not being able to skate 100%, it was troublesome. So I started thinking, okay, this could be the end of my career. So I got licensed with Smith Barney as a financial advisor. Ended up coming back to Michigan State. They figured out what the problem was. All my hips were knocked out of alignment. They got me back in alignment, quit pulling my groins. Or if I did pull my groin, I knew how to get the hips back in alignment so I could get healthy again. So instead of dropping my broker license, I kept it. I just left Smith Barney and joined buddy's company that traded bonds online. I was an institutional bond trader for 5 years while playing. 3 years in Switzerland. I would get up at 3 in the morning and trade bonds with banks and other institutions. So I was basically working 2 jobs. But I figured I'd come back and play for Grand Rapids. And again, I'll get settled into, so I'd come practice in the morning, head back to Lansing, go in the office in the afternoon. And that was had another great year. Got called up for a couple weeks in Detroit. Again, scored. You're 38, 39, 40 years old now, and putting points up. So, at some point I had to retire, and they had the lockout that year, and so that was it.
Yeah. And so when you look back at your career and all the places you've been, are you happy about that? You'd like to stay in one place, obviously?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference would have been, if I could have stayed in New York or St. Louis or Detroit. Those were 3 of my favorite places for a longer time. I would have, if I could have played healthy in Chicago and made that last a long time, that would have been great too. Another great city, great fans. But it's hard bouncing around. It's tough on the family. It's tough getting roots and getting into, because, you meet a lot of good people wherever you go. And if you're there for a long time, you can make lasting, relationships that can help you in business and help you in life. And it's hard when you're only there 2 years, and really 2 years is about all I spent anywhere. So, that would be one thing I wish would have happened, sticking around in one spot. Winning more championships would have been great,
Yeah, but looking back to it, you went to the finals how many times?
Had a lot of opportunities, especially, Grand Rapids, we lost in the finals. Chicago, we lost in the finals. Pittsburgh, I thought we had a great chance. St. Louis, we had a great chance. If I would have stuck around Detroit, they were building, Ilitch was building the championship team. But then again, Dino was a big part of that championship, so we made the right moves, right? So, it just is what it is. It just works out. Happy that my career was able to last that long.
Yeah.
Experienced a ton. Made a lot of friends, great friends. Wishing, could see him more, talk to him more and stuff. But it's, it was rewarding, and, wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, a lot of good experiences. Right? Going over to Switzerland there, like when else would you have done that? Right? If you never would have been over there. Yeah, that's really cool. Very cool. So what are you doing now? You're not in the financial business now, are you?
Still doing financial. Did some other odds and ends, bought some real estate, mansion real estate. Still financial advisor. Actually, when I retired or during the lockout, I didn't officially retire. Kind of waiting for my agent to call, but it's been 15 years. So
who's your agent? Tom Laidlaw?
Yeah. So not holding my breath there, but Yager came back at 52. So maybe at 58, I can get on the ice again. But no, I joined a hedge fund in New York, actually.
Oh.
Thought that would be a thing I enjoyed doing, but happened right in 08, 09 crash. So managing that fund for 1 year in 09, when the market was down 40%.
Yeah.
It was interesting. But it was just crazy times. And I enjoyed what I was doing and being in New York, but just being micromanaging. And it was probably because the markets were so crazy at the time. I was doing more work telling them why I was doing it, writing reports and everything, than actually working on, what's best for the clients. And I'm like, it's time to go work for myself. So I started my own company, Kevin Miller Financial Services. I'm an independent broker, do 401ks, IRAs, individual accounts, insurance. Been doing that for 15 years on my own. My office sits in the old ice rink here in Lansing. Yeah, my dad owns the building still. It's a furniture store now, but our office overlooks a furniture store. But yeah, it's great. I enjoy it. I love working with clients. Something I learned in school and followed a long time during my career, and I'll keep doing this for a long time.
Very cool. You're very proud to get 4 daughters. They were all into figure skating or hockey.
Yeah, and they're doing great. I got one getting a PhD in West Virginia right now, sports psychology. The other one's in her first year of medical school at Michigan State, and the twins, or the last 2, are in their master's program, and they'll graduate this December from that. So, they're all.
Your wife must be smart.
Wife is smart and good looking, so they might traits, maybe some of the athletic ability,
work ethic.
But yeah, the work ethic, which you need to be, successful, and they're all going to be successful. So, it's great following them, and it was great watching them in their sports and watching them excel in school, and it'll be fun to watch and see what they do after school.
Very good. Well, listen, you've had a fantastic life and career with all the things you've done. You can say, okay, well, I get traded all these times, but actually I look at that and say, wow, look at the opportunities, the things you've done, the places you've lived. So you're pretty proud of yourself.
I am. I always say, the reason I got traded so much is I was wanted so much.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. You can look at it the negative way or the positive way, right? Nobody wanted you, or else everybody wanted you, right?
Right.
So, definitely. Well, listen, thank you. It's great to meet you again. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I really interesting to listen to your story. So good job.
No, it's great. Enjoy anytime I get to speak with some of the old guys and tell the old stories. And hopefully I'll see you in April. We can tell a few more that we can't publicize.
Wait, Kevin, I got to ask you, because we asked Kelly, who is the best Miller brother? Now, I'll tell you what Kelly said after you give me the answer.
Best Miller brother? Yep. Well, Kelly played the most games in the NHL, so you gotta kind of give him that. It's 3 different types of people, actually, players. Kelly was by far the hardest worker. He's probably the least talented of the 3, but played the longest. I was kind of in between. I worked really hard, like Kelly, tried to anyways, but I had the talent and skills of Kip. Kip was the most talented by far. Hobie Baker, amazing skills. But he did not have, if he had Kelly's work ethic, he would probably have some records.
Same answer, because Kelly said Kip. He said,
he did.
Okay. 3 of you guys. Yeah.
Otherwise, he's ridiculous. So it was hard to do. And he proves it. Like he doesn't come out and play with us every week, but once a year he'll come out, and it's just like it never stops. Right, the sound level is just so high. You just go, how are you doing that? You haven't even been out here in a year. So yeah.
Well, once again, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Take care. You too.
We have the second of the professional Miller brothers on the show. We have to get Kip on here after we had Kevin. Kevin was great. And you know what? Think of him as a Ranger. And I think he said it in the show, Tom. It feels like what could have been. I feel like he wanted to stay with the Rangers.
Well, he had such a good run there, right? With Johnny Ogrodnik and Brian Mullen. They were hot. And again, we joked around about it because you get traded so much, and it really is the truth. The negative way of looking at it is that the teams didn't want you anymore. The positive way is that other teams always wanted him. And it was interesting going to Pittsburgh. They wanted him for the playoff run there. They thought he had a good run. And to me, that's a real compliment to a player. Again, he's got moved around a lot. How many different teams did he have?
A lot. Good, great offensive ability, really good skater, really fast, had the talent. But, he would have, if he could have stayed with the Rangers, you never know. But again, like Kelly Miller, who was traded away by Phil, his career was great. He played with Washington forever, Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he was a good player, yeah.
Imagine that family, though. I guess he just mentioned it. He said in the show, his dad, he works now in the building his father owns, which used to be the ice rink. So they must have just had so much time on the ice to develop play.
And then Kelly, Kevin, Kip, and then Kevin talked about the cousins, Ryan Miller and
Drew Miller. Drew Miller.
And then Kevin's, you got 4 girls. 3 of them were figure skaters. One's a hockey player too.
Yeah,
they were.
Access to ice, right? So it's almost like they're Canadian.
Yeah. Well, I swear to God, it's interesting to say that. I was sitting there listening to him talking more like an old Canadian farm boy. Get that way about him.
With a thick Detroit accent, though. That is a Michigan accent right there.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I got this. Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't even think there was a Michigan accent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very thick one. Oh, yeah. And you would just, I guess the UP is probably different because that's basically Canada. But
yes, it is. It's a little bit more of Minnesota, the Uber, I think. Yeah.
There's the Detroit accent is thick. It's definitely thick. Now you did. But great player, wish he would have stayed with the Rangers. But he worked out. I think he wound up playing over 600 games in the NHL. So he had a nice career.
I think what he talks about when he gets traded to Washington. Is it all year?
15 minutes. But then he's another one who played for Trader Mike. And
Mike Keenan.
Mike Milton. No, well, not
Mike Milton. Yes.
Oh, both Mikes, Iron Mike and Trader Mike. He drew the lottery on both of those.
Isn't it interesting when you get people on that played for somebody like a Mike Milbury? They all say the same thing. They just kind of shake their head at it.
Yeah, it's universal. Like what? Yeah, Keenan has some fans, and now he's apparently softened up quite a bit. Yeah, but I don't know that Milbury has.
But the thing with Keenan is that, he was I won't use the P word. He was not a very tough person, but he acted like he was tough.
Soft player is what you want to say? A soft player?
Soft player. Very
he looks like a kitty cat. Like you're saying, like a kitty cat.
And then he wants to act all tough behind the bench. And now all of a sudden he's not coaching anymore. And now wants to be a good guy and everybody
well, it's easy to be tough behind the bench when Koster's sitting in front of you and Kiprios and Jeff McCoom. Yeah. You can yell whatever you want. But you said as a player, he was kind of weaselly.
Yeah. He was trying to for the Canadian Olympic team the same way. I didn't even know he was there. And then he wanted to get a job. Don Waddell was running Atlanta at the time, and Keenan was at work. All of a sudden, he's calling me up, wanting me to help him get the job. And we'd walk down the hallway and see each other. He wouldn't even he wouldn't say anything to me. So
it's a red flag when people only call you when they need something.
Yes, that is correct.
And that's an issue.
Yes, it is definitely. So anyway, good show, Kevin.
Yes, great show, Kevin Miller. And we're going to queue up Kip now, and then we'll have to get Ryan and Drew, get the whole Miller clan on the show. Yeah. Another great show, Tom.
Yes, it was. Yeah, the Miller Boys. So really, that was a very interesting show. Like all the places he'd been, all the things he'd done, all the people he'd met. Yeah, very cool.
Nicely done. And if you like what you're hearing, please leave us a message on our anywhere on any of our socials. You can email fullchangepodcast@gmail.com. Apple reviews are great for us. That's like the currency in this business. And leave us a 5-star review. We'd love that. And we'd love to hear from you. So reach out to us. Nice job, Tom. And if you're in the Philippines, if you're listening, thank you, Tom. If you're in the Philippines listening, we'd love to hear.
Singapore, Philippines,
or Singapore, or Thailand, sure, Romania.
Those cultures are very interesting to me. They're very cultural people. They have these certain patterns to their lives and everything. Yes, like it.
Okay, well now, and as maybe you'll be an ambassador to the Philippines because I think you've been.
I could be an ambassador. Yeah,
you've had some interest in the Philippines lately. It's very. We'll talk about that on another show. But again, great show, and thanks for listening.
All right, Grasshoppers, thank you for listening. We had a fantastic show. We'll see you next time.